Today we have a kanji recap, cardinal points. Today's kanji is north, but do you know this chili character comes with a twist of ancient drama? Let's start by saying that the original meaning of this kanji was not north. It was actually two people standing with their backs to each other, which is also the reason why you will find this character in the kanji for back. Then, where did the meaning of north came from? In ancient China, houses were built facing south as a belief of good fortune. The back of the house was facing north, hence this kanji took over the meaning north. Kun reading is kita. The example is kita or north. The sentence is kita no business saisen, the front line of northern businesses. Fun fact, in Chinese astrology, the north is associated with the black tortoise, which represents water, winter, and the night. It embodies qualities like stability, endurance, and mental agility. The north is also linked to the sign of the rat. The on reading is hoku. The examples are namboku, north and south, and hokusei, northwest. Do not confuse north with change. These are pretty similar, but look, the north looks like two people looking up north at the stars. This kanji has 5 strokes. And let me ask you this, where do you live in your country? Is it north, south, west, or east? This kanji happens to have 2 theories. Theory number 1, it came from bird nest. In ancient China, people noticed that birds returned to their nest in the west when the sun set. It became connected to the direction west. Theory number 2 is a bit less interesting, but it says that this kanji was originally a basket and it was borrowed to mean west for a phonetic value. This kanji can also act as a radical with a simplified version. Although the radical is supposed to give the meaning west, it is actually tied back to the basket theory. The examples are iru, to be needed, and awa, millet. Do not confuse, west and for are easy to mix up, but west does have the shape of the basket with the extra stroke. The kun reading is nishi. The examples are nishi or west and nishigawa or west side. The on reading is sei. The example is seiyo or the west. The sentence is kyou no seiyo ryori yishu. Today's Western cooking training. Fun fact, in Feng Shui, a Chinese practice that aims to create harmony and balance, the West is linked to creativity and relaxation. Maybe the best ideas come at sunset, time to prove it. This kanji has 6 strokes and it seems to have a lot of history behind it. Very important though if you don't want to get lost in your next trip to Japan. Let's set our sight on a character that points us in a very specific direction, the east. The story behind this little symbol is as rich and radiant as a sunrise itself. Now, let's rewind the clock way back and take a good look. What do you notice? It might surprise you to learn that early forms of east weren't necessarily about the direction where the sun rises. Instead, many scholars believe it was originally a bundle tied at both ends. So, how did a tie bundle come to mean east? Well, one theory suggests that this bundle represented baggage carried by travelers, and it was a common thing to relate travelers with the concept of going towards the rising sun, as it symbolized new beginnings and hope. Fun fact! A common mnemonic used with this kanji is a sun behind a tree, and although it is a very useful mnemonic, the ancient scripts are rather different from what a sun and a tree would look like. Therefore, that interpretation is most likely folk etymology. The kun reading is higashi. The example is higashi or east. The sentence is higashi no eden, eden of the east. The on reading is to. The examples are Tokyo or Tokyo and Chuto or Middle East. Do not confuse east with fruit. And like east, fruit does have a tree as a radical and the fruits on top. On the other hand, I hope you are now able to see the bundle in the kanji east. This kanji has 8 strokes, and I find it cool to know that Tokyo actually means East capital. Have you ever visited Tokyo? If so, what do you like the most? Which way is south? In Japanese, that's Minami. But where did this kanji come from? There are 2 theories, so let's get right to it. Theory number 1 states that this kanji was originally a hanging percussion instrument, hung with ropes and with a shape similar to that of a bell. Although the connection between the instrument and south is not fully understood, it is believed they either had a phonetic relationship or that this instrument was used to play music from the south. Theory number 2. The kanji shows a plant in front of a house. Houses in China were built to face south, and south is warmer, allowing plants to flourish. Kun reading is Minami. The example is Minami or south. The sentence is Minami no shima no hamehameha dai-o, King Hamehameha of Southern Islands. Fun fact! In traditional Chinese cosmology and early compasses, south was often considered a primary direction. This was influenced by a few factors, including the belief that south represented good fortune and warmth, and practical implications of south-facing architecture and imperial authority. The on reading is Nan. The examples are Nanbei or South America and Namboku or North and South. Do not confuse south with make a deal. South starts off with the radical for 10 and then has the enclosure, while make a deal has the standing man on top. This kanji has 9 strokes. It is sad to see how much kanji history has been lost over the years. I hope this channel helps to keep it alive. Now I got a challenge for you. What is the meaning of this word? Type it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Yay!